things on offense, maybe just couldn't finish off drives. I guess what made it so tough against this defense, once you got into the red zone to kind of, capitalize on some opportunities?
They have all like 5-star players. They're pretty good on defense. Coach Smart does a really good job. They had a really good scheme for what we were doing, and it's hard to finish drives on a good team.
Well, cold weather, I know sometimes makes it difficult on your receivers, but tonight drops a little bit of an issue. As the leader of that group, what do you tell those guys? How do you kind of keep them up so it doesn't kind of continue to happen?
I mean, we just have to fix the problem. Probably catch some extra balls this week in practice or something like that, or any way I can help those guys, I'm willing to help. But we got to get it figured out.
Obviously, was a big shift in momentum there at the end of the first half. What was it like, seeing a young guy like Xavier come through and make a big play against the number one team?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, he's been telling me for a couple of weeks now that he's going to take one back. So, it's good to see Xavier have some success. But I think he can keep growing. I think he can keep getting better as a receiver. I think he's got a huge upside as a receiver. You obviously see what he can do with the ball in his hands. So he just has to work on his receiving skills, and I think he's going to have a bright future for us.
Well, I asked Coach Leach this. Early in the year, you guys were so good about bouncing back from adversity, whether it was a turnover and the defense responding, or the defense giving up a touchdown, the offense responding, or just overcoming a bad call or whatever. Has that just kind of been a lack of confidence lately in these last 2 or 3 games, or is that something that just comes from moving on to the next play?
What are you saying? We haven't been able to do that? I'm kind of being able to bounce. I mean, yeah, it's just kind of like picking your teammate up. It's just kind of the nature of who we are as a team, as a group, and kind of how we roll together. If one guy gets knocked down, we're going to try our best to pick each other up. We don't always do the best job of that, and sometimes you come up short and don't come through. But when we see a teammate down or a unit on our team down, the other unit's going to try and pick them up.
Speaking to the Xavier punt return, it's a big lift right before the half. What was it like in the half-team locker room, and kind of what was the staff's message to you guys? Obviously you got another half to play, but to kind of get this thing kind of moving forward.
I mean, everybody was just kind of excited at halftime. I don't know what the score. What was it? 17-12, maybe. I don't know, something like that before halftime. You're a one-score game with the number one team in the country. So we're all kind of excited. The staff was, talking about halftime adjustments and things like that. But, I think Coach Leach probably said it. But we just left points out there, which is frustrating. Whether it be, not finishing off a drive, having to kick a field goal, or, not connecting on a touchdown pass, or whatever the case may be. It's just frustrating when you left points out there, especially in the red zone.
Hey, Will, Jaden Wally was off to a little bit of a slow start this season, but he's come on pretty strong and made a couple big plays today. Has that been kind of intentional, trying to get him the ball, or is it just the chemistry has kind of started to click as the season's gone on?
I guess it's just how it worked out. It hasn't been intentional or anything to specifically get Jaden the ball. It's just kind of how it worked out. He's a guy that runs great routes, and some of the looks they were giving us, some of that middle field was open tonight. So I think he did a good job of finding space.
Will, have you noticed anything defenses are trying to do to either take away run calls at the line of scrimmage, or once they're called like that, to really focus on stopping y'all running the ball after you proved in mid-October you could run the ball?
I mean, they just have probably 2 top 15 picks in the interior, so that's kind of tough.
Yeah, kind of piggybacking just on that, how much tougher does it make it on you, even in the air raid offense, when y'all can't really establish any sort of run game?
I mean, it's just tough in general, if people know you're going to pass it, you're one-dimensional. Those are some dang good athletes up front, whether if they're big or not. Those are great athletes, rushing the passer. So it makes it tough, and then it also makes it tough on the back end, when they know what's coming. So, I think we have to do a better job, and it starts with me just as much as anybody, getting us into the right play.
And Coach Leach kind of said he really liked y'all's mentality compared to maybe the Bama game before. What do you see from your team's preparation and getting ready to play the top team in the country?
I mean, we come in kind of like every other game, kind of expect to win. I don't know if anybody in this room or anybody on my team, thinks that we're just going to come out and lose. I don't know. It's kind of a loser mentality, and I don't like that at all.
Well, Georgia's defense is one of the best in the nation, if not the best, and that's what everybody talks about. For you as the quarterback going up against this tough defense, what was, I guess, the message for you specifically heading into this game today?
For me to the teammates?
Just for you going against Georgia's defense.
I mean, they're a great defense. Like I've said, I mean, they're all like 4 and 5 stars, and they're all like really, really good at football. Big, fast, physical. Running the ball very well. Every yard you get against them is earned. They don't give up much. So, I mean, they're just really good. They're a really good team. They have really good coaches, and they don't do anything crazy on defense. Scheme wise and things like that. I think they just have good players, and they just execute the plan well. So it's a credit to their coaches and how they can get good players in there. Appreciate it.